From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening. Anchorage police say all 4 occupants of a small plane died when the aircraft crashed near Birchwood Wednesday morning.
The 4 victims have been identified as 54-year-old pilot George Kobelnik, 20-year-old co-pilot Christian Beaurear, 36-year-old Sarah Glaves, and 27-year-old Kyle Braun. Family members of the 4 victims have been notified. According to police, Anchorage Fire Chief Dennis LeBlanc says the fiery crash occurred this morning near Chugiak, about 20 miles north of Anchorage. Federal Aviation Administration spokesman Alan Knitzer says the Cessna 172 went down near the Birchwood Airport under unknown circumstances.
The airplane impacted an area of densely populated spruce and birch trees with thick underbrush present in the area. The debris field spans about 100 yards. This time, the initial on scene we wrapped up today. We'll be coming back out tomorrow morning, beginning an early start tomorrow morning and spending all day.
The Energy Policy Modernization Act, sponsored by U.S. Senator Lisa Murkowski, passed with bipartisan support on the Senate floor today. Murkowski says it contains multiple provisions to help Alaskans produce energy and minerals. It would allow for the rerouting of a portion of a proposed Alaska gas line to run through a section of Denali National Park and Preserve. It also calls for the Secretary of Energy to make a decision on any LNG export application within 45 days after completion of an environmental review. The legislation will now be reconciled with an energy bill that passed the House. President Obama has threatened to veto the House bill. Murkowski hopes the bipartisan nature of her legislation carries into the conference committee process.
An 85-12 vote is a pretty strong showing, a very good bipartisan showing. And so what we're going to do in moving into conference is try to keep that bipartisan approach, because I think that is what will allow us to come to a conference that we can agree to and thus send it to the president.
The Fairbanks Principals Association's contract was approved in last night's school board meeting, but not everyone left the session happy. More now in this report.
I'm going to take my little magic wand here and wave it over the FEA and the ESSA negotiations as well. This looks like it went through a very fast process. As we heard earlier about ESSA, we were not so lucky the last time we tried to bargain.
The Educational Support Staff Association, or ESSA, had more than 15 attendees speak on behalf of the organization at Tuesday night's school board meeting about the group's dissatisfaction with the board's inability to give them what they deemed a fair contract. An ESSA board member, Bobby LaSalle, says that the group is hurt by other unions getting an increase while ESSA members are looking at cuts.
We realize that we're in tough times within the state, and if it wasn't for other people receiving increases, it wouldn't hurt so bad.
The ESSA union represents the aides, the nurses, the secretaries, and the lunch staff. They are generally the first people to see the children in the morning and the last people the children see when they leave. Some of the cuts members say the district proposal is suggesting will be to take away spring and winter break pay as well as sick leave for immediate family.
What they're doing is they're telling us, we want you to work from this time to this time, and in this space in the middle that you can't go do anything. I can't go get a job for Christmas for 10 days or for spring vacation for 5 days. They're just going to say, hey, we're just not going to pay you for those days.
The public relations spokeswoman for the district, Charisse Walker, says even the schools are not immune to the statewide budget crisis.
Well, we are feeling the same pinch that a lot of folks are with the state of the, state's fiscal situation. We are not going to come out of that unscathed. So it's a tough reality for everybody. We will continue to be adding information to the website, so we're trying to make that available. for folks, and like I said, the meetings are all open to the public.
Sarah Dabowski reporting.
When we come back, the West Valley Performing Arts Center presented a documentary last night on how teenagers overuse their mobile devices.
Also, Monty Bowen reports on how the U.S. Navy is conducting more training and research in the Arctic. These and other stories when we return.
Welcome back. West Valley Performing Arts Center screened a film last night titled Screenagers. The hour-long documentary by filmmaker Delaney Rustin looks at the usage and effects of teenagers using mobile devices, laptops, and video games. Screenagers explores how tech time can impact students' social lives, make them unaware of what's around them, and slow down their brain's capacity for growth while still in school. According to the film, the average youth spends about 6.5 hours a day looking at their screens. Through it, though it contains unexpectedly funny stories, along with inside views from authors, psychologists, and brain scientists, Screenagers reveals just how tech time can impact a youth's social development in school and in life. The film also focuses on how adults can help their kids to best navigate the digital world and find a balance.
We as a society, we're on the phones, we're on our tablets, we're on our computers, until you can kind of stop and take a look and think about your own use. Yeah, it's surprising.
For me, it was very insightful, and I was really interested in the data. For me personally, I was also very interested in the gaming information that's in the show, because screen time isn't just about the use of cell phones or iPads, tablets. It encompasses a lot of just screen time in general.
There is more and more activity in the Arctic, and the U.S. Navy is doing more there with training and research. Monty Bowen has details in this week's military report.
In 1908, the SS Roosevelt embarked on an expedition to the North Pole led by Navy Rear Admiral Robert Peary. A year later, he led the first successful naval expedition to the pole. The USS Nautilus submarine went under the polar ice in 1958. Today, the trips to the pole continue to research and training missions. Last month, 2 submarines arrived at Ice Camp Sargo.
We have USS Hampton and USS Hartford participating here, giving those 2 submarine crews Arctic operating experience.
An interdisciplinary team of students and faculty from the Naval Postgraduate School traveled north to the Arctic Circle to participate in the Navy's large-scale exercise. It's a 5-week exercise to test the operational readiness of the submarine force while continuing to advance scientific research in the Arctic regions.
This is giving those 2 submarine crews the opportunity to develop Arctic operating experience, which is going to become increasingly valuable as there is increased competition in the Arctic.
The exercise involves the 2 subs, multiple nations, 200 people, and 140 crew members. They are studying changes in the Arctic environment.
We're getting a jump start on this new initiative called SODA, which is Office of Naval Research sponsored, and deploying the prototype system to make that deeper measurement concurrently with this shallow measurement.
Our objective there is to be able to map under the ice. So we've got a sonar that's looking, rather than downward like we usually do, it's looking upward. It's called a microbathymetry sensor.
The NPS delegation conducted acoustic, environmental, and unmanned underwater vehicle research at Camp Sargo, which was built on the Arctic Sea ice 200 miles north of Dead Horse, Alaska. This is Monty Bowen reporting.
The military report is brought to you by Kendall Auto of Fairbanks.
Okay, Joe Cook is next with sports, and he has some big news coming out of North Pole. Now you'll hear from their new head football coach.
Also, another local basketball player is headed to college. All that and more after the break.
Welcome back, Interior Alaska. Time for your local Hump Day Sportscast. Some notable high school football news broke today. North Pole has a new head football coach. Patriots Athletic Director Walt Armstrong announced that after reviewing 11 applicants, Dennis DeVinny will be the new head coach of North Pole football. DeVinny comes in from Soldotna, where he was an assistant coach last year. The So High Stars have won the last 4 medium school state football titles and have won 39 straight. That's a state record. Before that, he coached at Barrow and has coached a number of years in Texas. This will be his first head coaching job. He replaces Richard Hennert, who resigned last October after 10 years with the program. The Patriots made it to the state semis last year and have won the last couple of Southeast Conference titles. Devaney is expected to arrive at the end of May. I caught up with him today by phone.
Want to start developing a leadership council and have talks and have seminars and teach these young men how to be productive, positive leaders is my first order of business.
You know, I think he's a good fit for North Pole. He's going to run the ball first and pass second. I mean, in terms of football philosophy, it's very similar to what we've been doing in the past. And it just, you know, the culture, bringing the kids together, that family feeling, and doing things right.
Recently, the UAF Athletic Department gave out their end-of-the-season awards at their department-wide awards banquet. Bringing in the top honors were Sam Hartoon and Travante Williams. They were named the most outstanding female and male athletes of the year. Hartoon was first-team All-GNAC for 3 straight years. He set a new conference and program record for kills with 1,513 in her senior season. Williams is in his only year at UAF was an NABC Division All-West Region second-team pick and first-team All-GNAC. He led the conference in steals, and he led the Nooks in points and rebounds as UAF had their best season under head coach Mick Durham, who was also named Coach of the Year at UAF. Kaylee Jode and Noah Heismans were the Scholar Athletes of the Year for UAF. For the full list of award winners, visit this story on the sports page, webcenter11.com. West Valley signing week continues, and today another member of the girls basketball team will be playing at the next level. Amber Schmid signed a national letter of intent to play for the Portland Community College Panthers. So Ruthie Hebert and Schmid will both be playing in Oregon, about an hour and a half away from each other. Schmid will try to help a rebuilding Panthers team that finished last in the South Division of the NWAC with a 3-13 record. They finished 4-22 overall. Senior guard was second in scoring for the Wolfpack, was one of their best defenders, and was all MAC the last 2 seasons. Despite the team's record, Schmid was sold on Portland after a campus visit at the beginning of April.
Portland definitely felt more aggressive, like on the court, and I really liked that. They were like diving for loose balls, and like their defense was just like on it, and it was just, I really liked that.
She just doesn't quit. She just works and works. Last year we saw her go down with a knee injury, and we were worried this year, and then she just came back and worked through that. And this year we saw her shot really come around, her three-point shot, and I think that's going to really be a tool for her at college.
Now that the sun is starting to come out and stay out, the engines on the local raceways will be revving up soon. The Greater Fbx Racing Association and North Pole Speedway recently released their 2016 summer schedules. The quarter-mile paved oval at the North Pole Speedway will start the year on May 19th. With Legends and Bandos races. July 7th is BCDC night, which is a big event for the North Pole drivers and fans. Their season finale is going to be September 1st. In Fairbanks at the Mitchell Raceway, the GFRA's first weekend of races will be May 27th and 28th for opening weekend. The Key 9 Shootout will be July 22nd and 23rd. The season finale is August 27th, and the final races are scheduled for a night race on September 9th. After 1 year, the Harlem Globetrotters will be back in the banks in a couple of weeks. But before their show, one Globetrotter will stop by one of our military bases. Handles Franklin of the Harlem Globetrotters will make an appearance next Tuesday, April 26th at Allison Air Force Base. He'll be there at 12:30 to meet the local airmen and airwomen and show off some of his skills. You also get a look at some of the aircraft at Allison. The Harlem Globetrotters will take on the Washington Generals at the Carlson Center on Sunday, May 1st at 2 p.m. I'll be back out on the court with the Generals and the Globetrotters. I've been practicing my 4-point shot recently, so come out and see what happens on Sunday, May 1st at the Carlson Center. And that's it for sports tonight. Thanks for watching. Mike Schultz is up next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello everyone, welcome back in for Wednesday night. Time to take a look at the weather. Mike Schultz with you once again, and what can you say about today but magnificent, just fantastic day. Lots of sunshine, and there is no end in sight. We are looking at temperatures continuing to warm right on into the weekend, near 60 degrees and 60 degrees plus over the weekend. We'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. Our satellite radar tonight is showing not a whole lot going on. As you can see, just mainly some showers down around the Kenai Peninsula. Not too much going on over southeast Alaska either, and very little happening at all in the interior. Beautiful weather there. As far as temperatures go, well, here's what our high was today, 56 degrees. Right now 55, the low last night 31. The record high 66 in 2010. The record low 7 below in 1959. And your sunrise and sunset 15 hours and 44 minutes of daylight. That is a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. Here are the numbers across the state. 55 at Ketchikan, a few showers falling in that area. Cloudy skies at Juneau with 58, not too bad. Another nice day in Anchorage, 54 degrees and mainly sunshine. Down around Kodiak, the rain has even stopped there. How about that? 44 for their high. Showers at Cold Bay, 41 degrees. Nice day in Bethel, 54. A little bit cooler at Nome with 48 degrees there. And Barrow at 16 degrees with cloudy skies. Fort Yukon, partly cloudy skies and 43. Lower 48 weather. Well, that monster storm that was sitting over the Rockies is now finally starting to move off to the east. And at the same time, that means all the rains are finally stopping across Houston. Thank goodness for all the water they've had fall on that city. It's just been incredible. Showers across the Pacific Northwest and over the eastern half of the country. That's where the showers are going to be moving into as this system slowly moves off to the east. What does it all mean for Houston? Well, more rain is expected tomorrow, but not nearly as heavy. All the flooding should be to the east of Houston. That's good news. And the new jet stream is out, and you can see it's becoming a lot more zonal, which is good for less opportunity for severe weather, mainly just some snow and rain across the northern Rockies, some scattered storms over the deep south, but warm conditions over the eastern half of the country. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather. And all this week we're talking with the kids from Hunter Elementary School. Tonight, here's a young man with a question about rain.
Hi, my name is Tuluk. I go to Hunter Elementary School, and this is Power's class. This is my weather question. How big are the raindrops?
Well, to look, normally the size for raindrops is pea size, but of course, if you have thunderstorms, you can get those big monster drops that really come down and drench you really badly. But for the more normal size, like I said, it's around pea size. And again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank for sponsoring our kids' weather. Now, tomorrow night, the teacher's going to be here, and she's going to share a really cool, interesting weather fact about rainbows. Okay. Our forecast for tonight, actually for tomorrow, I should say, is calling for northern sections, flurries, and blowing snow for Barrow. Mostly cloudy skies for Nome, and also mostly sunny skies for Fort Yukon. So nice mix of weather there. Across the interior, again, a beautiful day in store. Partly cloudy skies for Fairbanks, mostly sunny skies for Healy and Delta Junction. Over southeast Alaska, looking at becoming cloudy skies in Juneau, and there's a chance of a little rain developing once again for Ketchikan, with temperatures near 60 degrees. Over the southwest part of the state, wind and rain is expected at Cold Bay. Cloudy skies in Kodiak and mostly cloudy skies for Bethel. And over the south central sections, mostly cloudy skies expected in Anchorage, partly cloudy skies in Valdez, and just an isolated shower in Homer. So all in all, not too bad. Like I said, the weather pattern is not showing any major signs of change. Our forecast for tonight, a beautiful evening with clear skies, 32 degrees for the overnight low. Tomorrow's forecast looking near 60 degrees, another great day with plenty of sunshine, and the 5-day outlook. How's that for consistency? 60 degrees all the way across the line there. Overnight lows will also once again be very mild in the low 30s. Our photograph tonight, we should all stand up and salute because it's our national bird, the beautiful bald eagle, proud and brave. That's taken by Daniel Sladen. And again, it's always, if you have a photograph to share, take it and make sure you send it to photos at ktvf11.com.
Interesting fact, on the way back from Arctic, man, I saw a bald eagle.
They're cool. They are just so majestic.
Like, oh, man.
I think we're going to see a lot of them this year, too.
In the interior?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
I don't think I've ever seen one.
Oh, yeah, I've seen them. When I go out there and play at Chena Bend Golf course, they fly over the Chena Bend, Chena River all the time. They're just diving down there.
I haven't yet to see one, and I've been here all my life.
Come on, man.
Catch up. I'll get with it. I'll go play golf. All right, that'll wrap up this edition of the Fbx Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
And tonight on NBC Nightly News, criminal charges have been filed against 3 officials in the Flint, Michigan water crisis. That's up next with Lester Holt.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
From all of us here at the News Center, have a happy, happy night.